Greetings, Divine Radiance. How are you today? Thank you so much for joining me, Nahkila Asha of AshworthScott Life Sculpting, for Wednesday Live and Power Hour. So, of course, we're not live, we're recorded, but I appreciate you for still coming through and receiving the message. I am resting, recovering from the car accident, and I'd just like to start off by letting all of you know that I am so grateful for you. I am so grateful for your prayers. I'm grateful for the healing energy you've been sending. And even more than that, I'm grateful for your presence. It is such a joy for me to live in my purpose and to serve you all through these videos. Those of you that are working with me in the mentorship in that way, and those of you that receive readings in that way, those of you that I'm connected with on social media, it is just truly a pleasure and an honor to be connected. So thank you. Thank you so much. So today we will be talking about a message that I received when I was in a sacred bath. I received it from Spirit. And what that was is Spirit will reveal it, but it's up to you to heal it. So before I get started, if you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and do so. And if you are a return subscriber and you are just as ready for me to get back on live as I am ready to get back on live, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. So I was in the tub and Spirit delivered that to me. And let me back up a little bit and just explain to you what's been going on. So as you guys know, I was rear-ended in a car accident. And I decided last Friday, we had a group session scheduled. And okay, it doesn't require much. I'll be fine. I'll be able to do it. You know, I'm going to go ahead. And I shared how I gotten that message from one of my sisters in light about resting, right? Which is why I didn't do Empower Hour. So the group session was going great. I'm serving, everyone's receiving what their soul was there for. And then at the end, I was led by Spirit to ask one of my sisters in light what my aura looked like, because usually I appear purple when she sees me. She's been able to see my wings and they were purple. And so she said, oh, your energy, what I'm saying, it looks a little reddish orange. And I don't know if it's because of what you're wearing or if it's the pain. And I was like, oh, and even if you don't know, you can tap in and Spirit will tell you. And it was the pain. And another sister in light could feel my pain. So as we were at the end of me serving them, they all began serving me. Literally, it was a beautiful exchange of energy. And so what they were telling me was, we love you. And we would like for you to take all the time required for you to heal and recover. And so one of the things that came through, one of my sisters in light said, well, why are you experiencing this? So, I tapped in and Spirit said, it's because as you move into this next phase of your journey, there are certain things that you possess that you cannot take with you in order for you to move in this next phase and receive everything, all the blessings that this phase has to offer you, right? And so what that thing was is this. It's funny because as I'm about to say this, I just thought of what my twin flame said the other day. He says, you're an overachiever in everything. And I was like, I'm not an overachiever. I just happen to overachieve as as a little smart comeback. But when my grandfather transcended, I went to work that day. And for those of you that know me in my story, know that for mostly all my life, my maternal grandmother and grandfather were like my parents. Since they both transcended, both my mom and my dad have become phenomenal parents, but at the time in life when they weren't there, my grandparents were. So I've been blessed with two sets of parents in my lifetime. But anyways, long story short, I went to work that day. I had the flu really bad when I was still working for others and not myself. And my thing was, I'm going in, they'll have to send me home, but I'm not calling out, right? So now that I have my own business, my own practice is what I like to call it, and I'm serving, it's like my soul clients, they pay every month for me to serve them. So in addition to the joy, there's a feeling of obligation when I'm not feeling well, right? It's like I'm doing it because they're paying for this, they're investing in this, and I respect them and their investment. So one of the lessons learned was to allow myself to be held, right? To allow myself to receive the love, because the love I feel for those I serve, it's not one-sided, right? And in addition to that, I'm never going to just run off with their money. And it was funny because Spirit said, you can't run anyway right now. But the thing is, so the way I'm making up is I will be providing them with 20 minutes of a one-on-one, since that's what they would have received. They would have received 20 minutes in the group. So I went into all of that to say to you that that feeling of obligation, right? What I realized when I connected deeper with Spirit was that that also stems in lack, right? It stems in lack. Now, I wouldn't have thought that, right? I connected to the perfectionism of it, how it can relate to that. But the lack, initially, I didn't even think of that. But one of the things is, if I am pushing beyond, right? Beyond what serves my highest good to push, if I go beyond that, it's rooted in lack. And those reasons are various, but that's where it's rooted. So rooted in lack, rooted in perfectionism, and all of these things, they do not serve me. And I had no idea that those blocks were even there, right? So Spirit revealed it, but it was up to me to heal it, right? Now, when I tell you the end of this group session, it ended up with me in tears and, me being raw, transparent, and I'm always transparent. But here's the thing, for those of you that are in the healing field or the life coaching field or any other field where you're serving others, even those of you that are parents or parental figures to others, here's the other thing. We are called to be open to being our true, rawest, most authentic selves, because we have been taught by society, in order to be or appear as an expert in our field, we are to be perfect. We are to have it all together. We are to hide those parts of us that make us appear, quote unquote, weak, right? And Spirit is saying, do away with all of those lies that we have been fed, right? Do away with all of those lies that we have been fed, because we are not being called to be anything except ourselves, right? And when we heal and we build that connection to the divine, to our divine spirit team of highest light and love, we are able to be vulnerable and be just as valuable in what we do. In reality, even more so, right? Because it's that thing when we talk about love, right? Would you rather someone fall in love with who they think you are, and then you're either stuck wearing this mask your entire life, or the entire life of the relationship? Or would you rather someone fall in love with who you really are, right? So as we are serving, Spirit is saying, be yourself. I happen to be a big baby, you guys. Like, let me just tell you, in the past, I've even shared this, in the past when it came to my abuse, I always had this wall up, this tough exterior, and I had really convinced myself that I was not affected at all by the abuse, because to me, it made me weak. It made me weak, right? And as I got older and I was able to acknowledge the effects, that's when I was able to heal it, because you can't heal what you don't acknowledge, right? So this goes back to Spirit will reveal it, but it's up to you to heal it, right? So the other lesson that came out of that, and this was a huge lesson for my soul family as well, and this is something Spirit tells us all the time, we are always simultaneously. I always get that word where it feels like I'm saying it wonky, but we are always the student and the teacher at the same time, right? And some of us have this thing where I'm not going to heal, correct, guide my elder, right? And when I say elder, it doesn't always mean an age. Sometimes it can be in our spiritual awareness. But what Spirit is reminding us of is we are always the student and the teacher at the same time. My connection is no better than your connection, right? And if you're the teacher, the healer facilitator, right? The guide, someone else is just as capable to serve as your teacher, right? And so we're being called to accept that with grace and gratitude, right? not to worry about how we appear, because those that are here to connect to our souls, those who is a vibrational match for what we are here giving, will see you and love you regardless, right? And on top of that, the more vulnerable you are, the more transparent you are, the more those you serve can connect and relate to you. I can't tell you how many times I have had soul clients that I've met in person, and it's almost like they've had this idea of me. And it's like this unrealistic idea that I'm not a human being, that, you know, a regular human being, right? Like there's this bar that's been set really high. And it's like, nope, I'm just as regular as you, except I'm probably just a little goofier and, you know, a little sillier, but I'm just as regular, you know? And this is what Spirit is telling us. It's time for us to break down that wall that separates, right? That wall that separates. And so going back to the Spirit will reveal it, but it's up to us to heal it. Had I been an ego and in this place of, I'm hearing high horse, right? Not being open to accept guidance from those that I'm here guiding, I would not have gotten what my soul required at that point. Now, this is huge because listen, this is huge. It was a block that was preventing my next level being all that it is here to be. So had I blocked these messages, or had I been an ego and thought, you know, whatever feelings you think when that comes through, right? I wouldn't have received it, right? So there's a level of humility also that Spirit is calling for us to have. Now, with that being said, I'm being told to tell you, even when you are in that space of receiving from others, no matter who it is, whether it's me or Joe Blow up the street or Susie Q down the road, always check into Spirit in your own, on your own, and in your own regard, to make sure that what you're receiving is true. Make sure that it's facts, right? But yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Spirit is letting you know, if you haven't already, you know, one of the things I declared from the very beginning is that I am choosing to show up as my best self. I am choosing to heal the things that I am both consciously and unconsciously aware of. And so what has happened throughout the course of my journey, because of course I've healed those apparent things, right? Those things that are so crystal clear. But there are things that are hidden in those deepest, darkest depths of me that unless Spirit reveals it, I wouldn't even know they were there. But just because we aren't aware doesn't mean it's not affecting us. So if you haven't already made that conscious decision to heal the things that you're both consciously and unconsciously aware of, I recommend you do that. And this is how the conversation went with me in Spirit. Thank you so much. I am so grateful that you are assisting me with healing the things that I am both consciously and unconsciously aware of. Thank you. And so it is. And it's as simple as that. And there's things that will be revealed and you'll be like, whoa, where did this come from? Oh my goodness. And here's the other thing Spirit has been telling me to share is, don't beat yourself up, right? Don't beat yourself up, because initially when you heal and you get the bulk of it, like the things that are in your face, this is a block, this is hindering me, this is stopping me, this is stagnating me. And then you think, all righty, then I'm healed. I'm good to go, right? You're good to go. And yes, you've healed, but there is always more. As long as there is breath in this body, there is going to always be more. Because remember, we carry cellular memory from all of our past life experiences, right? And so we bring that with us energetically. So if we aren't continuously healing, that means we're dead. As long as we're living in this 3D, this third dimensional realm, three-dimensional realm, we will always be healing something. I get excited when I heal something else because I've just up-leveled, I've just elevated. I don't look at it as work or a bad thing, right? It's exciting for me. Yes, Spirit, heal me. Show me what else is blocking me. Show me what else is hindering me, you know? Let's get it out. I'm ready, you know? Roll up those sleeves. Let's do this, right? So yes. It's very, very, very valuable that we open ourselves up to receive and just start with that simple conversation with spirit. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Thank you for assisting me with healing the things that are both conscious, that I am both consciously and unconsciously aware of. Thank you. And so it is. You'll be surprised how much is lurking that you are not aware of, right? So there were a few other things that was coming through. What else would you like us to deliver today? I was just told to tell you to be joyous in the new. Be joyous in the new. And what Spirit is saying is, we are being called to be in a state of joy, regardless of what we're experiencing, right? And the way we stay in that state of joy is by having gratitude. We stay in a state of joy by staying in a state of gratitude. You know, I'll tell you, this accident has not been easy for me to stay in a state of gratitude. There are so many things that are being hindered as a result of this accident, and I, when I think of those things, I instantly go into gratitude, because I also know that this accident is bringing many gifts for me, right? Number one, there are so many lessons that are coming out, so many shadow places that I wasn't aware of that are being shown, right? That is going to catapult me into that next level of excellence, that next level of greatness. And even in the realm of financial abundance, there will be a blessing there as well. So I'm grateful. And every time I start to think like, oh, I'm really not working right now, or oh, I'm really not able to go to the gym right now, or oh, whatever else, I instantly go into, I'm grateful. Thank you, Spirit. And that's how we do it. I call it the bait and switch. When you have a thought that is any form of stinking thinking, you instantly shift it to gratitude. What can you be grateful for in that situation, right? What can you be grateful for? So just do that. And it's so funny because my mom has been practicing the bait and switch method. And today, when we were leaving the appointment that I had, it was funny because she brought apples and little snacks for us. And she was eating the apple and she goes, "This apple is soft." And then she goes, "I'm grateful." She goes, I'm a complainer. But the way she said it, it was like this light bulb came on, right? Like the switch was flipped. And it was so funny because it wasn't like she said it to me or even to Spirit. She was acknowledging it within herself. Like, she found, now that she has been switching those thoughts, those thinking or those complaining thoughts to gratitude, she's now noticing how much she's actually complaining, right? And when we're doing that, we're like, listen, we are not in gratitude, number one. And number two, we are single-handedly robbing ourselves of our blessings, right? Because when we're focused on what we don't have, we get more of what we don't have, right? We're in that energy of don't have, the haves and have nots. I don't watch the show. I heard it was good, but haves and have nots. When you're in gratitude, you always have. You always have. When you're focused on what you have, you'll have more. When we're not in gratitude and we're focused on, oh, I hate this job, or oh, I'm so broke, or oh, I'm this, or oh, I can't go to the gym. Oh, I might blow up again, right? These are thoughts that have gone through my head since the accident, right? Those are the things that will create all of those things. But if I can say, you know what? I'm so grateful. I know that there's a reason why this happened. And let me check in, Spirit. What's the reason? I got the reason now. Oh, I'm so grateful. And you know what? Because I am in this situation, what I'm choosing to do is I'll just start having smoothies for 1 or 2 meals a day. I'll eat more leafy greens. I'll eat more raw foods. I'm just going to really adjust, right? I'm going to adjust. And I'm so grateful that I have my mother here that comes over to help prepare the food. I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful for a speedy recovery. I'm so grateful. Much different than being afraid of gaining, being afraid of, whatever, right? It's a much different energy. So therefore, things will shift in a much better direction, one that I'll be able to enjoy more, right? So yeah. It's important that we stay in that state of gratitude. Is there anything else? Okay, so I was just told, tell them the wind doesn't blow where the sun doesn't shine. And at first that seemed real like, okay, Nahkila, did you take some pain meds? That's what it felt like. But as I was saying it, Spirit was explaining, the wind don't blow where the sun don't shine. So when we think in terms of wind, right? What does wind do? Wind creates movement. When the gust is strong enough, it creates movement. Things move, right? It blows it in direction, right? The sun shining is that gratitude, right? The gratitude. So the wind don't blow where the sun don't shine. What Spirit is telling us, in order for you to create shift and change in your life, it is important that you are in that state of gratitude, right? It's important. The sun shining is gratitude. And it doesn't matter what the weather's like. Like, it's raining here in Tennessee right now. It's raining here, but guess what? My sun is still shining. And guess what? While that sun is shining, there is still movement. There is still movement taking place in my life. There's still elevation happening. There's still growth happening, right? So give yourself permission to be in gratitude, to be happy, so that that movement continues to occur. Because when we lack gratitude, what we create is stagnant energy. It's almost like Groundhog Day, isn't that, where things were just repeating themselves? It was happening over and over again. Without that sun shining, without that gratitude, you're going to repeat the same cycles over and over again, because Spirit is not going to elevate you to the next level until you've learned the lessons, accepted the lessons, and are able to apply them in your life, right? So yeah, pretty awesome. The wind don't blow where the sun don't shine. Look at Spirit. So is there anything else? Oh, okay. So I don't know how many of you are wondering this, but Spirit just said to tell, Spirit said, tell them you're doing well and you'll be back soon. So yes, I am doing well and I will be back soon. Now that I have allowed myself to feel those things, those fears that came up, those of you that are in my mentorship group, I've talked about this with you all, but the whole that fear of being set back, the injuries that I had from 2012. And there was a fear there that my life would be altered in the same way. So with me initially being led to take this time off, it felt like, see, it's altering my life. See, it's altering my life. But it wasn't until I was able to accept my circumstances, right? Find the gratitude in my circumstances, then I was able to get the lesson, right? Then I was able to get the lesson. And when I get the lesson, I'm instantly in the period of blessing, right? Because once that lesson is got, you're in that state of being blessed. And another one of my sisters in light had a message for me. And what came through was, what we resist will persist, right? And it's so true, because I was in that energy before when this first happened. I was resisting it. No. I was resisting it. So as long as I was resisting it, I wasn't able to get what Spirit was showing me, right? So Spirit is just letting me know to relax. And as I said that, what I'm saying is just like floating, like laying on top of the water or on a cloud, whatever feels better for you, and just floating. How peaceful does that feel, right? And it doesn't matter what physical ailments you have, what mental or emotional breakdowns you may be experiencing. When you do that, just go ahead and do it with me now. Just take a deep breath. And as you exhale, just visualize and feel yourself laying on a cloud or laying on top of the water. You can even stretch your arms out as you would, lean your head back, and just feel. Just feel yourself being supported and feel yourself floating. And how peaceful does that feel? In that moment, you're not focusing on anything else but that feeling of peace and relaxation, right? So Spirit is telling us to just float, just allow ourselves to be held. Accept what is and understand that there is nothing that happens in your life that does not serve your highest good. Nothing. It is all connected. Spirit will reveal it, but it's up to you to heal it. Now, here's the other thing that's coming through relating to that. When you get the messages from Spirit, right? When things are revealed to you, right? Don't resist it. Don't say, that ain't what I was expecting, or Spirit will deliver exactly what your soul is craving, exactly what serves your highest good. But like that saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So Spirit will always reveal it, but it is up to you to heal it. Some of you have been prompted to do something, whatever that something is, right? It can be beginning your healing journey. It can be leaving a relationship that doesn't serve you, leaving a job. It can be starting that business. It can be taking a vacation, whatever it is. Spirit is always going to reveal it. But how many of you can say, in all honesty, in all transparency, when Spirit tells me to do it, no matter what, it happens? I can honestly say I'm in a place in my life where if Spirit reveals it to me, doesn't matter what it is, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And I encourage you to get that way. It wasn't always easy, right? It wasn't always easy. It took a ton of faith, right? A ton of faith, a ton of this don't feel good, but I'm going to do it. And the more I did it, I realized like, whoa, this outcome is always amazing. Now I'm excited. I won't live life any other way. So Spirit is saying push through in spite of. If it's fear, if it's doubt, if it's worry, if it's stress, sadness, even whatever it is, push through. If Spirit tells you to do it, if it's fear of lack, if it's you being in lack, do it anyway. Do it anyway. Spirit's got your back. And I know many of us have experienced multiple situations in life where those that we expected to have our back or thought had our back did not. But the one thing you can depend on is Spirit having your back. So when Spirit guides you to it, it's time for you to trust and have faith that Spirit will get you through it. But it requires you following, surrendering, trusting, and taking action, right? So Spirit will reveal it, but it's up to you to heal it. It's up to you to heal it one step in that direction towards you. And you'll be so grateful, so grateful. So that is the message that I have for you today. And before I wrap up, I'm going to share something else with you. So I had the ultrasound on my stomach today. That appointment was at 10 because there was bilirubin in my urine. And so my doctor believes that my liver is bruised. So he had that done to check. And so yesterday, when I went to my appointment before, I got referrals for physical therapy and I'd asked about massage, and my doctor said, well, they most likely will do it there. So they don't. So I asked for them to give me a separate referral. Long story short, they require that you come in for that. So that is where I'm headed. And that appointment's at 1:30. But my mom was, I believe she had asked for an earlier appointment or possibly later. I don't know. But anyways, I was like, what about 1:30? And that's what they had available. And it turned out perfectly because last night I was just not in any position to deliver the message, to record it last night. And this morning I got up just in time for the appointment. So Spirit gave me this pocket of time in between time to come home and record this so that it will be uploaded for you at 1:30, which is our regularly scheduled time, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm saying that to say that Spirit is always in the works, right? And Spirit is always working in our favor. And when we get to that point where we totally surrender and we totally rely on Spirit to guide us, things like this happen, right? There's plenty of time for me to record, there's plenty of time for me to attach a photo to the audio so that it can be uploaded to YouTube, and plenty of time to get it out to you so that you are able to have it at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, and plenty of time for me to make it to my appointment on time. That's nothing but Spirit. It's nothing but Spirit. but it requires surrender, because when you surrender, you aren't manifesting different scenarios that don't serve your highest good. And when I say that, of course, those things come through, and spirit is always like, but clarify. Because even when there's more lessons, it's still serving you, right? It's still serving you. But what I mean is that flow, how things just flow together like the perfect puzzle pieces. It's spirit. Surrender, and you'll find that life just flows. It just flows. So spirit will reveal it, but it's up to you to heal it. So thank you so much for allowing me to serve you. Please continue to send prayers. Please continue to send healing energy. And thank you for being who you are and for choosing to enhance yourself each day, because as you heal and enhance you, it does so many miraculous things for the collective consciousness. And I'm just grateful. So I leave you with peace, love, bliss, and abundance. And I will talk to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.